Assalamu alaikum. Hello and warm welcome to all of you. Dear students, today I am here with the fifth part of civic chapter number 4, electoral politics. In the previous lecture, we had started election system in India, or in other words, we can call it process of election system in India. In that, first we had discussed electoral constituency, voter list, nomination of candidate, and number 4, election campaign. Election campaign take place for 2-week period between the announcement of final list of candidate and date of polling, date of casting the vote. During this period, candidate or party contact their voters, and even political leaders address election meeting, and they try to mobilize support in the favor of their party. We discussed that according to our election law, no party or candidate can bribe or threaten voters. Even they cannot appeal to them in the name of caste or religion. Even they cannot allow to use government resources for election campaign. And candidate not allowed to spend more than 25 lakh rupees in Lok Sabha election in his or her constituency and 10 lakh rupees in constituency in assembly election. Then after we discussed that Election Commission of India has declared model code of conduct for election campaign. According to this model code of conduct, party or candidate can not allowed to use any place of worship for election campaign. Candidate and party not allowed to use government vehicles, government official for election. And even once the election announced, minister shall not lay foundation stone of any project. They cannot take any big policy decision or make any promises to provide public facilities to the voters. Now the fifth and final process of the election is polling and counting of votes. Dear students, the day when the voter cast or poll their vote is called the election day. On the when the voters they are giving their vote, they are casting their vote, it is known as election day. The voting is done in the following manner. Number 1, every person whose name is on the voter list can go to a nearby polling booth. On a day of election, whose name are there in voter list, they have to go to nearby polling booth. These polling booths are situated usually in local school or government offices. Number 2, once the voter goes inside the booth, the election officer identify her. Once the voter entered into polling booth, election officers, they are sitting there. Out of them, one identifying the voter, the second one put a mark on her finger and allow her to cast vote. Once the voter is identified, verified by the officer, the other officer put a mark on her finger and allow the voter to cast vote. At the time, an agent of each candidate is allowed to sit inside the polling booth and ensure that the voting takes place in a fair way. The agent of all the candidates who contesting the election, they are also allowed to sit inside the polling booth and they can observe that the polling, the voting is taking place in a fair way. Earlier, the voter used to indicate who they wanted to vote by putting a stamp on ballot paper. Earlier, ballot paper was used to cast the vote. Now, what do you mean by ballot paper? A ballot paper is a sheet of paper on which the name of the contesting candidate along with party name and symbol are listed. Ballot paper is a sheet of paper, is a piece of paper on which name of all the candidates who are contesting the election, name of their party along with their party symbol, everything is mentioned in ballot paper. As I told you, ballot paper was used earlier. Nowadays, it is the age of EVM, electronic voting machine. Ballot paper is a sheet of paper on which the name of all the candidates who contesting the election along with their party name and symbol are listed. Nowadays, EVM, electronic voting machine, used for the purpose of election. Now, how EVM work? The machine shows the name of the candidate and the party symbol. Like ballot paper, on electronic screen of EVM, name of those all the candidates who are contesting election and party symbol are mentioned. Machine shows the name of the candidate and the symbol of the party of the candidate. The voter has to just press the button against the name of the candidate whom he or she want to give vote. When voters go inside the polling booth, identified by the official, and then other official put a mark on finger of the voters. After reaching near to EVM, voters has to just press the button against the name of the candidate whom he or she want to give vote. Once the polling over, all the EVM machines are sealed and taken to secure place. Once the day of election is over, all the EVM machines are sealed and taken to secure place. A few days later, all the EVM machines are open and votes secured by each candidate are counted. A few days later, on a fixed day, all the EVM machines are open under strict observation and votes secured by each candidate are counted. The candidate who secured the highest number of votes from a constituency is declared as the winner. When counting start, so the candidate who got the highest number of votes is declared as a winner in constituency. In general election, usually the counting of votes in all the constituency take place at the same time on the same day. In general election, counting of vote in all the constituency done on the same time, at the same time, on the same day. Television, radio, TV channel, they publishing the report about the election result. So, dear students, this is the system of election, or we can call a process of election in India. Here you have to keep in mind 5 important topics. Number 1, electoral constituency. Number 2, voter list. Number 3, nomination of candidate. Number 4, election campaign. And number 5, polling and counting of votes. Now, in next lecture, we will discuss what makes election in India democratic. Is there any organization which observing that election in India are held in democratic way, in fair way? So, in our country, ECI, Election Commission of India, is independent election organization of our country. Under the strict observation of ECI, all the elections in our country are held. So with this, I would like to conclude my today's lecture. Inshallah, we will meet again with a new topic of the same chapter very soon. Allah Hafiz.